Life Audio.
Welcome to the Crosswalk Devotional. We're glad to have you listening with us. Today's topic is the test that proves you love Jesus. We'll return with the devotional after a brief message from our sponsors.
This episode is made possible by PwC. Businesses today face countless risks that could come from almost anywhere. Now, you can stay ahead of the game with our risk management products and proactively manage threats before they become risks. At PwC, it adds up to the new equation. Learn more at riskproducts.pwc.com. That's riskproducts.pwc.com.
Hey there, it's Nicole Eunice from the How to Study the Bible podcast, and I'd love to invite you to join us as we weekly discover a passage of God's Word together. From beginning to end, from principles to practicals, we are here to make sure that God's Word is powerful and relevant to your life. If that sounds like something you're looking for, I would love to invite you to subscribe. You can go to lifeaudio.com and search How to Study the Bible, and we'll see you there.
The One Test That Proves You Love Jesus by Clarence L. Haynes, Jr. If you love me, keep my commands. John 14:15. We live in a world where people like to use the word love loosely. We say things like, I love food, or sports, or some other inanimate object. In expressing love, you will also hear people tell you how much they love Jesus. My question is, how do we know we love God? What measuring stick are you using to define what it means to really love Jesus? In John's Gospel, Jesus gives us one, and he reinforces it 3 times in the same chapter. If you love me, keep my commands. John 14:15. Whoever has my commands and keeps them is the one who loves me. The one who loves me will be loved by my Father, and I too will love them and show myself to them. John 14:21. Jesus replied, anyone who loves me will obey my teaching. My Father will love them, and we will come to them and make our home with them. John 14:23. On 3 separate occasions, Jesus identifies the one piece of evidence that proves you really love God. That is your obedience. It is impossible to say you love God if you are going to blatantly and continually do the things that break his heart. It would be like me declaring to the world how much I love my wife, but every chance I get, I do things I know will be offensive to her. That may be a lot of things. That is not love. 3 ways your obedience connects to your love of Jesus. 1. Your obedience acknowledges you agree with his position. When you choose to obey God, and yes, obedience is a choice, you are telling God he is right, and you agree with his position. Now, agreement does not mean you immediately like his position, but you agree that his position is right. For example, someone may hurt you and you choose to forgive them. Now, you may not want to forgive them, and it may be difficult to forgive them. But if you do it because God commands you to, and you know it is the right thing to do, and though it hurts, you do it because you agree with God's position. 2. Your obedience tells Jesus you are welcome. Obedience is a welcomer. It tells Jesus, you are welcome in my life to do what you want. When you choose to disobey, you are telling Jesus, I don't want your ways, and in this area of my life, I don't want you, and I don't want you interfering. I know these seem like harsh words, but when you reject his commands, that is what you are doing. Disobedience, which is sin, says you trust or desire something more than you desire God or your relationship with him. When you put it in that language, it stings a bit more. Your obedience or disobedience will determine which one you really want, sin or the things of God. Your choice will show where your love resides. 3. Your obedience is about your actions, not just your words. When Jesus made these statements in John, this is what he was really saying. Don't tell me you love me, show me. It can be very easy to declare with your lips how much you love Jesus. Anyone can do that. It is far different to make the choices, sometimes difficult ones, which show that you do love him. However, it is in these places that your obedience becomes evidence of your love, because you will do the hard things, even when you may not want to. Not because you are motivated by fear of retaliation, but because you are motivated by a love that desires to please God. Intersecting faith and life. I want to leave you with a simple challenge today. Think of your life and see if there are any areas where you are wrestling. It could be something you should be doing or something you need to stop doing. Either way, let the motivation to change come from your love of Jesus that drives you to walk in obedience. After all, if you love him, you will do what he says. Hearing God's word, receiving God's word, and even believing God's word means nothing if you don't obey God's word. Further reading. What is free will and how does it relate to our salvation? What Christians need to understand about the spirit of the law versus the letter of the law. 4 important truths about obedience.
The Crosswalk Devotional is a production of Life Audio and Salem Media. If you liked what you heard today, please take a second to rate and review this podcast in your favorite podcast app so that more listeners like you can find the show. For more faith-filled, inspirational podcasts, visit us at lifeaudio.com.
This episode is made possible by PwC. Risk exists here, there, and everywhere. Whether it's governance, risk management and compliance, cybersecurity, or financial crime prevention, our risk products can help locate and address risks. At PwC, it adds up to the new equation. Learn more at riskproducts.pwc.com.